Hello miners, Rusty coming at you, and today we're going to take a look at the Petrified Fish 818, that's a PF818, and carbon fiber with a black stonewash blade. So we're out here tonight taking a look at it in the sunlight, and we will take it in for an inside look, but it's a good looking knife. I did pick this one up for somewhere in the $37 on Amazon, and it's now found on sale, Blade HQ, not that much later, for 29 bucks. So look for it. It's a David Chen design. David's done a couple for Petrified Fish, and he'll be doing a couple for Tucson, I see. Maybe Tepe designs as well. So forgot, somebody liked that. Anyways, pretty neutral. We'll go over the ergos. I'm going to have some comparisons, and we'll do a sharpness test inside. Has some jimping up here. Has a cool blade where he took and made a swedge on the very top here, and it's I believe it's a flat grind. And according to Jake at Canadian Cutting Edge, I think it's down to 15 thousandths. And then Jake, Outdoor 76, it's getting similar cut test to Civivi D2. So this one is in D2. So, all right, guys, stick around. We'll go inside for some comparisons and a cut test. Okay, now we're inside taking a look at this Petrified Fish PF818. And they did a really nice job on this black stonewash, and they stonewash it heavily. And I think that goes really well with this carbon fiber. You get that black and the shine with that. Not a lot of carbon fiber on here, but it dresses it up nicely. You can see this G10 has some interesting texture to it as well. The back spacer is proud, is jimped, and it's proud. So sometimes we get back spacers and they're not proud of that. So what I mean is sticking up. Liner lock is exactly where you want it to be. Nested liners. There is some milling you can see in there, but it's not a light knife, okay? And then interestingly enough, when you look at this and you see this back spacer, I'm like, where's the pin? Where's the lanyard tie on? And there it is. So you would run your lanyard through there, and it's only going to stick out on this side, you know. So when you have it open, it's not coming out the back, it's coming out right there. David Chen, and a little bit of mushroom screws. But interestingly enough, you can order up these for about $8. And they're for the Petrified Fish 959. You can get Petrified Fish clips, pocket clips, off of Amazon. And let's take a peek here. I think I am going to try this one on there and see, mostly for the added looks of it. Let's take a peek at that blade. There's that swedge I was telling you about. It's really just a basic drop point knife, but it does have some really nice geometry. And I was talking about the cut test on them, and the D2 is good as far as D2 goes, but you know, this is based upon other people's cut test. It's in there with the good Chinese D2, but this knife will cut even when it's not sharp. What do I mean by that? Well, you guys might hear about some Opinels. People say they've never sharpened their Opinel, and they can still cut apples and so on. Well, after a year, it's not because you still have your edge. It's just the thinness that's allowing you to go through your apple. So they're really not, in my opinion, what I would call a sharp knife. We're going to give this one the peanut test. See how we do. Alright, so that's better than a lot. And not as good as some, but it's a pass. So, when I was getting this knife, I already have something that kind of reminded me of this, and you can kind of see how the handle shape. This is the Asher Pickett, and that's G10, but it's a smaller knife. But in the hands, the way the shape of this handle is very similar, except this does have a, your finger type cut out, which by the way makes access to the lock bar pretty good. And then it gets kind of fat, and not just fat this way, it also gets kind of fat this way, especially with that clip. And so it's a lot more to hang on to than this. It does the same thing, gets fat with that clip, but because it's smaller, not a whole lot. So, handle's about the same. I'm sure the blade on this Petrified fish is bigger though. It's a longer blade, so you guys probably aren't familiar with this one, but that's kind of what I was thinking I might be getting this, and I knew just a little bit bigger. No other form of deployment, just the flipper tab. Flip this up just a tad, and keep hitting the tripod here. So that's a snappy knife. It'll work with the light switch, and it will work with the push button, but it's not exactly perfect for that. So, however, the action on it as far as the open reminds me a lot of my Civivi Keen Nader. So we'll give that a, if you're going to be able to compete with Civivi, that's good. And we are going to compare these two. They're about the same size knife. And I realize not everybody has a Keen Nader either. And they're also about the same size thickness. Let's go ahead. Just to give you guys an idea here. I think the Keen is lighter. I think they just have, you can say they got bigger. They got like squares cut out versus the holes. And the drop on the Keen is better. I have to just kind of warm this up a little bit, and it will fall shut on its own. Maybe this one will get there, maybe it won't, but still a nice smooth drop. Maybe a little cleanup would help things out. So if you guys stick around, I'm going to throw that gray clip on there, see how she looks. And we're back, and the gray clip's not going to work because of this cutout. The clip it came with has a thinner, and this one is wider. So to drop this clip into that hole, now remember this one's for the 949, it's just not going to fit down into that cutout without some mods. So if you can do that, it does look like the holes might line up there for you, and just not going to happen tonight. So thanks for hanging with the miner.